Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So David and Michelle are still in Mendocino. They're going to be there until Monday next week. It's Thursday night right now. It's about 10 after 7 Pacific time. And he'll be back. He'll be back Monday. He and I will record some videos next week, and then I'm going to be out. My family and I are going to London for a funeral and a memorial celebration of life service. My wife's sister lives out there, and we had a family member pass away unexpectedly. So we're going to be doing that. And I'll have some videos posted up. Just fair notice, I will read your comments. I probably will not have the bandwidth to respond. So now we got that all out of the way. Today we had some interesting news coming out of New Hampshire, where U.S. District Court Judge Joseph LaPlante, basically he blocked Trump's Birthright Citizenship executive order. There was a bunch of immigrants' rights advocates who asked him to grant a class action status to a lawsuit that they were filing to represent any children whose citizenship status would be threatened by the implementation of Trump's executive order, which would potentially revoke their birthright citizenship. Judge LaPlante passed his ruling for, he paused his ruling for 7 days, right? Didn't pass it. He paused it for 7 days to let the Trump administration give them time to appeal, which they will. The encouraging thing was the Judge LaPlante was basically saying, yeah, this is clearly this isn't even a judgment call. This is clearly violating these people's rights and can cause them grievous harm. So he's very much of the opinion that what Trump's trying to do is unconstitutional. Of course, we have a Supreme Court that doesn't necessarily care if things are unconstitutional, because they've created a king and they're going to give him as much kingly power as he wants. So what I want to do is I want to look at the energy around Judge Joseph LaPlante. I want to look at Trump and the Justice Department. I want to look at the Supreme Court and then take a look and see how things are looking for it. Entertainment purposes only. You know, normally I would say this is a slam dunk. This thing's going to get shot down. However, Trump's been on a winning streak lately. And this Supreme Court, every time we think they can't go lower, they lower the bar and reset how despicable their decision-making can be. So I'm going to go in as open-minded as I can. I hope to give some positive feedback from these questions, but I can't guarantee it. I mean, yeah, I guess I could spin it any way I want, but I'm trying to be open-minded by it, recognizing that what I think is right and what I'm hoping will come out might not be what the cards say. But the cards have been wrong before, so. Or maybe the cards are right and I just misinterpret them, right? Okay, so let's look at the, let's look at the energy at Judge Joseph LaPlante. He was put into the federal courts. He became a judge under George W. Bush. So he's clearly not a lefty liberal, but he clearly has also read the Constitution. So let's take a look at Judge Joseph LaPlante and how he's feeling about this case. Okay, foundation is the Three of Swords. Just betrayal. You've got one unhinged president that is betraying the Constitution, betraying people's constitutional rights to citizenship. Now, granted, when the Founding Fathers wrote the Constitution, they weren't thinking about, okay, well, people are going to immigrate here illegally and have kids, and so now what do we do? You know, it's one of those things where that's the reason why you can amend the Constitution. But right now, you have to interpret it on how it's written. And if you don't like how it's written, you can amend it. So, heartbreak and betrayal, challenge, the Eight of Cups. It's one of those where you just kind of wish these executive orders that are clearly biased and clearly trying to break new ground would just go away. I think he's just... Or what this could be is the challenge is Trump wants the immigrants to go away. He wants them to take their kids with them. Energy underneath it is the Page of Cups. So Judge LaPlante's seeing kind of the MAGA crazy on all this creative executive ordering, this creative interpretation of the Constitution. It's just more MAGA crazy. In the past, you got the Page of Swords. So this is basically either the willingness to take up the fight on this. Like I said, he looked at the case, the merits of the case. He said, "Oh, this isn't even a question of whether what Trump is doing is not appropriate." So he's willing to. In the past, you got the willingness to fight. Current energy is the Four of Swords. Okay, we fought. I've made my decision. I'm going to now delay it for 7 days, waiting for an appeal. And he was going to put out a written order tonight. So right now he's putting time to think and letting Trump's Justice Department come back with an appeal. Overarching energy is the Queen of Cups. He's probably outraged by this. It's just such a frivolous executive order, and he's probably really not happy about being put in this position. Lesson to be learned is the King of Swords. He is going to put his truth out there. There will be no questioning his judgment. Outcome is Nine of Cups. Hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. I think, unfortunately, where I'm going with this is exactly what Trump wanted. He wants the judge to rule on it. He's totally okay if the judge blocks it because he wants this to go to the Supreme Court, where he's got his Supreme Court loaded 6-3. You got 9 cups, and he thinks he owns 6 of them. All right. So I suspect that I don't even suspect. I know the Justice Department is going to be filing an appeal, and this is going to go right back up to the Supreme Court for a full review. Lovely. All right. Let's look at the Supreme Court. I don't even care what the Justice Department is going to do because I already know what they're going to do there. Let's do a 4-quarter on the Justice Department. Are they going to appeal it? The answer is yes. Are they going to appeal it? They're not happy with the judge's decision. We want our victory. We are trying to get rid of the people that don't bring value. This country is for wealthy people. And we're gonna go on a new journey to get rid of these people who are taking advantage because we're the big powerful government. Okay, I think that was pretty straightforward. even my own bias is going to be supported by the cards, I guess. It's not going to be overruled by the cards. That's what I was trying to say. They're going for it with an appeal. Okay, so now we got to look at the Supreme Court because we've got a pretty unhinged Supreme Court that's leaning harder and harder to the right. All right, what's the energy around the Supreme Court? How are they looking at this? Because the Constitution is pretty clear. Now, that doesn't mean you can't amend the Constitution. There's clearly situations that the Founding Fathers didn't take into account. And that's why you have the ability to amend this living document. Okay. Foundation of the reading, 10 of Cups. Hey, we're all one big happy family. Born in the United States, you're a citizen. Whether you're a kid, you can be naturalized as an adult. We can all enjoy the United States. The challenge is temperance, finding that balance. There are people that basically want to pull up the ladder behind them. And we got to find a balance. And this could be just the Supreme Court is, not trying to get overly excited by this, trying to maintain balance, trying to understand the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law, right? Energy underneath it is the Hangman. Um, this is causing them to have to look at the Constitution a little bit differently than they've done in the past. And that's mostly because they have really hitched their wagon to Trump Project 2025, and there are several rulings that seem to be very much in support of that. In the past, you got the devil card. They've hitched themselves to MAGA and Trump. This is absolutely no question the corruptness, the evilness of what they've been doing. Stuff that 5, 6, 10 years ago, if you would have said some of the stuff that they were going to, presidents could be kings, none of us would have believed it. But here we are, larger than life. Just they are supporting this man. Current energy is Ace of Cups. Strong emotions in the court. Certainly Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson has been very vocal in the dissenting side. And this is something that people are passionate about. This is going to create a lot of emotional energy. Overarching energy is the King of Cups. What's best for the people of the United States? The Supreme Court needs to balance their emotions. There's no doubt 6 of them are, at least 3 of them are really beholden to Trump. 3 of them are more than happy to help him out. And 3 of them are definitely not supporting this. King of Cups, we got to be mature with our emotions, mature about this whole situation. Lesson to be learned is the 5 of Wands, chaos, just all the battling that's going on in this. What's the outcome? Justice. Well, there you go. I mean, you would hope that if the Supreme Court reading, the outcome would be justice. Okay, whatever happens will be considered just by the Supreme Court. It might not be considered just by us. It might not be considered just by Trump and MAGA and the Project 2025 crowd. So let's do a little 4-carder. Current energy is, how are they leaning on it? Are they leaning towards dismissing Trump's executive order as an executive overreach, or are they willing to support that? I mean, that could be what that temperance card was, trying to find some sort of balance between what's in the Constitution and what's currently happening in the United States. Okay, let's see. Little 4-carder. What's the current outlook on this? What's the ruling look like? Okay, Queen of Swords. There'll be, each justice needs to come forward with their own, they got to have their own inner truth and communicate their inner truth. It's about relationships. It's about promises to people. And that's promised to people in the Constitution. If you're born here, you are entitled to be a citizen. The best of democracy, and this could be of the Constitution. 7 of Pentacles. So for those of you that are listening versus watching, Foundation is the Queen of Swords. The primary clarifier is the Lover's card. So it's your truth, and it's about relationships and promises. The other clarifiers are the Star, which is the best of democracy, the best of the United States. This could also be the best of the Constitution. The other clarifier is the 7 of Pentacles. Looking at what our future is, looking at the things that we actually value. What are we all about here? And the energy underneath it is the 8 of Swords. Not seeing a clear path ahead. To me, this tells me that what this card to me says is that the justices that would like to curtail birthright citizenship don't see a way to justify it. There's too much blocking them right now. And that's what I think is going to happen. So let's do a little side-by-side reading. So based on the Supreme Court's, assuming they're going to hear the case, which I'm pretty sure they will, and assuming they rule on it, which they have to if they're going to hear the case, what is Trump's reaction going to be, and what will these people that did the lawsuit, what's their reaction going to be of the Supreme Court justice's ruling? For entertainment purposes only, if I haven't said that. Okay. So on the left, we'll do the advocates for the people who would lose birthright citizenship. And on the right, we'll do Trump. See how he's feeling about it. It's too bad there isn't a witch card in this tarot deck, right? Because it's always a witch hunt with Trump. Okay, so how are the advocates that are basically sticking up for the constitutional right? They will be celebrating. Three of Cups, celebrations. There was a lot of fighting, a lot of chaos. That was the outcome. You got the Devil card. People were supporting Trump's evil agenda, but there was a truth that came out. How's Trump feeling about it? There was a truth that was provided. There was another that was supported by more truth. It was, you got to think about what you really value and what you support, and maybe you just can't ship people away because you don't like them. That's my interpretation. There's good cards on both sides and there's bad cards on both sides. This card has me a little concerned about Trump. This card has me a little concerned about the advocates. So let's see the energy underneath. So the energy underneath for the advocates is the Queen of Pentacles, taking care of the Constitution, taking care of your citizens, taking care of the kids. For Trump, it's the Hermit card. You got to find a different path. This is not the way you're going to be able to get it, because this is coming to an end. And you're creating a lot of burden on the judicial system. God, major arcana. And you look at things a little differently, and we're not happy about the position you're putting us in. And maybe you need to think about what you value. Okay. Thanks, Libby. Lots of major arcana there on the Trump side there. So I'm going to say right now, July 10th, will be okay. That these kids that were born in the United States and their parents were undocumented, right now they're okay. I think the energy right now is good for that. So we're going to leave it at that. So I don't want to risk giving you a reading where the energy's changed. So let's just call it good. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell. We'll wake you up at midnight with a new video. Leave a comment. I will read them all and I will respond to many of them. I might not to get to too many of these comments, as I will be driving a pickup truck from the Bay Area to Long Beach. So I'll be at the saddle for at least 6 or 7 hours, and then moving furniture and going to IKEA and going to Costco, dropping that stuff off, dropping off a truck, and then catching a flight back to the Bay Area. So I'm going to be a little bit busy. So if I've got time, I'll do the best I can. But I want to give a couple of shout outs. Kathy Quinn Ashbury, who made a very kind contribution. Her name is Jazz Marley SSA. So thank you so much for your contribution to the channel, David. I truly appreciate it. Oh, and the card of the day, the Hillbilly Brawl card. Creating chaos, because David and I just never know how to split this, right? And then Robin Davis. Hi, Robin. Thank you so much for your nice contribution. Thank you so much for giving Robin has been a very consistent contributor, so I truly appreciate that. Thank you, Robin. Let's see, I'm sure I had one more here. Yes, Tennessee Chin. Hi, Tennessee Chin. Yet another someone who's also very consistent in their contributions. Thank you so much for your generous contribution to the channel, Tennessee Chin, David. I truly appreciate it. And I think that's what I've got. So how about a card for the rest of us who for sticking around for 20 minutes of me yammering on, right? Take it right off the top. The King of Swords. Yeah, we're going to share our truth on this one there. That's a good card to end it on. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, folks. Bye.